I'm Malcolm Van Delst, and this is an excerpt from Do the Wrong Thing, a book series or extra long novel that opens with a woman trying to kill herself. She says, I don't know why I tried to do this, and by way of explanation tells her life story. We are in book 4, about, I don't know, a quarter of the way through. Working title is Eyes of Different Colors. Last week, Ava learned that Posey came to Arbor fleeing social services, that Posey's current partner is sexually harassing Posey's daughter, and that lesbian relationships are not easier than straight ones. This is the end of the chapter, the good, the bad, and the Posey. Silence closing in. I want to call Posey, who'll chase it away with her bedlam, but I can't. You're so lucky, Ava. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. If I had your white skin, I'd be prime minister by now. That's her new line. If I looked like you, I'd be prime minister. I believe her. She's got 10 times the courage and energy I have, but to lie about her ex-husband, how she ignores William's come-ons to Zanetta, her treatment of Jero and Zanetta, the strange man, big brother or not, now taking Jero and Shakur on weekends. Silence blankets me like a thick layer of dirt. I'm in a coffin, a big, beautiful, cultured, middle-class coffin. I miss her so much, I wail on the phone to my mom. Ah, Mom soothes. I'm surprised. Mom is never understanding. When she's around, I lose myself. I hiccup. I can't do this job. And she thinks she can come around whenever she wants. And if I tell her no, she gets mad. Oh, says Mom again. She's my only friend. I cry. I love her, but I'm so lonely, Mom. I'm so lonely. Mom says nothing, while a dumb numbness invades me. Usually by this time, Mom would be telling me to come home, pray. I listen to the hollowness in the phone line. We're always here, she finally says. You can always come home, you know. I know. I whimper. I hang up. If I hold myself perfectly still, I become one with the air, all the molecules and space, and feel nothing. Next chapter is called Gandhi. I want to be like Gandhi, but I'm afraid to go all the way. Safe Gandhi. Safety is for losers. I get a volunteer job at a homeless women's shelter. The 2-room space is up a flight of stairs a few blocks from my new place. As I said, without Posey, I literally have no friends. My houseworks, coworkers, all looking for hookups. I quit video scene because it didn't feel right. Nothing ever feels right. Even as I type in this August 3rd, 2017 moment, what feels right? I feel right now, but that's the result of aging and accepting that no. I've learned that who I am is never perfect, that it's hard to be who you are, that it isn't like breathing, that it doesn't just happen. I've learned that it's an ideal, who I am, as if I'll be in perfect harmony with my soul and the sky one day. Wouldn't that be stasis, entropy? Who I am is experimenting and trying on different personas. I've settled into writer now, an identity I was given a long time ago, an alternative to no identity or mother's property, mother being property herself. Yes, I could have been writer much sooner, but writer is not fun, and I wanted fun. Wait, those typed out pages, mucked up with whiteout containing dark, smeary retypes, so much that I have to retype the whole thing again before submitting them, then see another thing that needed changing while I retyped. The pounding heart, the fear. This was not poetry and stories I was showing to friends or roommates. This was me, crying softly so no one could hear. Ava, why didn't you talk to someone? That's what you're thinking, right? Because it was shameful, humiliating. I want to be a writer. You're my daughter, and you think you could be a writer when I couldn't? You are less than me. You will always be less than me. These are the lessons passed down through the generations in my family. So I cried onto those pages, carefully addressing them to Malahat Review, Prism, Subterrane. And the terse letters came back. I wasn't stupid enough to think they were sincere. Even in words and on paper, people reject the slimy wetness that comes with tears, snot, and mucus strings between lips. No one wants that on their face, clothes, or mind. Revealing your fears and what you want is like leaving the house naked or sleeping with your bedroom door open while you cry. No one wants that much responsibility. There's got to be a little self-esteem to work with. The woman sweeps into the room like Norma Desmond. Her cashmere jacket is open, revealing a white shirt and tight leather skirt, black and short. Very narrow hips. Her makeup is flawless. She is flawless. Brown curls bouncing on her shoulders. Why is she here? Get the fuck out, the voice screams from behind me. You're not allowed in here. Fuck off, says the woman. I have every fucking right to be here. No, you don't, screams the voice. I can't see who's speaking. The person is in the kitchen, and I'm at the table without a direct sight line into it. The Norma Desmond woman picks up a glass from the entrance table and hurls it across the room in the direction of the voice. It hits the wall and explodes. My partner volunteer jumps up and runs to the phone to call 911. I'm sorry your first shift was like that. My supervisor apologizes at my check-in a few days later. That doesn't happen all the time. That's good. I smile to show that I'm joking, though I'm sort of not joking. Meanwhile, at Houseworks, we have fewer and fewer customers. The place is going to close. That's obvious. Another night at the shelter, I talked to, or rather, am talked at by a pregnant hermaphrodite. Her word, not mine. My boyfriend and I can't wait to have the child, she says, words tumbling out of her as if they'll cease to be true if she doesn't get them out fast enough. This woman, you'd think she was a man if you weren't in a woman's shelter because she looks like a man. Something. Her arms? If she had short hair, well, and the breasts. If she didn't have breasts, even though she doesn't have big ones. If she cut her chin-length, greasy yellow hair and didn't have breasts. There's something about her skin that looks like the rind of an orange. She'd be a man, no question about it. I admire her. It sounds like she's been judged on her body her whole life. So it makes sense that she explains it all, owning it over and over again, no doubt, the first time we meet. I've got a penis that works perfectly and a vagina too. It works perfectly too. My parents couldn't handle it when they saw what I was like, so they gave me away, but later changed their minds. But that was long after I left foster care. We have a good relationship now. She pushes her words out like she's so full of them she can't hold them in. I try to imagine what her family, her boyfriend, and her child. A chill runs through me. Where will they live? He's homeless too. My supervisor says there's an opening for a real paying job at another shelter. You should apply, Ava. Saturday morning. The back door at my new place of employ, a house at the end of the block I live on, opens to spring morphing into summer, sweet-smelling air, trees holding bright lime green buds, and the sound of chirping birds. I'm giving out plates to women seated around a large kitchen table. From behind a teenage girl, we've been joking around for an hour or so. She's bright, funny, and quick with a comeback. I reach over her to pass another woman a plate, thinking how this girl has probably had a fight with her mom and hit the streets for a few days, how she won't be here long. She's pushed the long sleeves of her t-shirt up. When I look down, I see scar upon scar upon scar, crisscrossing her wrists and lower arm. I almost dropped the plate. Another Saturday morning in this same kitchen. I'm tired and hungover after a dinner party at Posey's. We're not back together, but without Posey, the silence, the loneliness. I grab a cinnamon bun from a package and bite. Oh! Running to the sink, I spit out a mouthful of bread, cinnamon, and pale green goo. Turning the bun over, I see a carpet of furry spores.